sunshine. Hey, missed my song. Sunshine, blue skies. Please go away. My girl's found another. She's gone away. With her with my future. My life is filled with blue. Day after day, I sit locked up in my room. I know to you, it might sound strange, but I wish it would rain. And of course, that's a hell of a song saying after rain just poured down here in Dallas-Fort Worth for the past 2-3 days. That was just something that just came to mind. There's a nice breeze out here right now. A little humid, but it's cool. The sun isn't shining. But anyway, y'all, so it's your man Rico the Opinionist. Supporting my Jimmy. One of my Jimi Hendrix t-shirts. Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. Rest in peace, brother. Doing my little stroll, and I thought I'd have a conversation with y'all or just share my thoughts of a story that was sent to me by two people. Shout out to Ezel Loop and my girl Mary Max. And this is a story that's still going around. I think it's still traveling around the internet. Happened on the 23rd of this month, I guess, yesterday. And by the way, like, share, and subscribe. Do that. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm up to like 370 on my YouTube channel. Thank y'all so much. I try to keep the topics interesting so y'all want to come and at least listen to what I have to say. And please share, like, share the videos. That's how we can make it to 1,000 or 1,500. So you know your boy can get that monetization. You hear me? But anyway, you know, in light of all these conversations this ongoing conversation that's kind of been renewed with Dr. Umar Johnson is blaming black men for the choices that black women made as relates to their vaginas and the choices they've made in reproductive relationships, you know, who they chose to have babies by as opposed to decent guys. And so, and him blaming the decent black men for black women being single and masculine and all that foolishness. Well, Dr. Umar, I want to see if you want to blame a black man for this. I guess it's in the Chicago area, far south side of Chicago, which I got from Chicago News, rather. A mother was in a restaurant in line. She got into it with another gentleman. Got into a verbal altercation. I don't know how they got into it, but you know, as Minister Farrakhan says about women, your mouth is your sharp tongue. And your mouth is a weapon, your tongue cuts like a sword or a knife. She must was going on in like a lot of these masculine chicks, talking crazy. And while she was talking trash, arguing back and forth with this gentleman in the line, while her child is in the car. I'm going to get to that in a minute. She was texting her son to come in and bring his gun with him so he can, straighten the business up. So, I guess at some point, the man started punching her in the head. And of course, people are like, I don't care what's going on. He has no business putting his hands on her. Y'all sure can say stuff like that. Because women, y'all know, those of you who've been married, those who've had volatile girlfriends, or just met women just in general at the bar or whatever, and they get mad at you, they're upset, they go for broke. They go for the gusto. They go for the juggler. And it's one of those cats who probably wasn't strong enough. I don't know. But according to the story, and you'll see in the video, as the son was walking in, he saw the man hitting his mom. And so he shot the man and hit him. And then, as the man was running away, stop right there. As the man was running away, the boy chased him down. second. As he was running away, the boy ran after the man, according to reports, and shot him, I think, 2 more times and killed him as he was running away. So when someone's running away, the threat is over, right? Because all of us agree that first shot, okay, self-defense. But you, young fella, 14-year-old, you chased him down, shot the man down, shot him in the back, and went on and allegedly killed him. And then the mom comes rushing out. You see in the video, the mom comes rushing out and orders her son to shoot another customer because they were laughing while she was arguing with the man initially. So what kind of shit is that? So now both of them are facing second degree manslaughter or second degree murder. Well, it's the first degree. They're up on murder charges. And so let's get into the larger conversation. You know, I've always said, and it's not just me, but it's always been a national conversation about the dangers of single motherhood. The facts are there. The stories are there. The experiences are there. Every other kid that was raised by a single mom, and I'm talking about the black community now. And I know kids of all races go through hell with an unstable single mother, because there's some single mothers who are not unstable. There are a lot of single mothers who are doing what they're supposed to do, but still, you know, I don't like the idea of it all because it automatically puts kids at risk. And people get upset when I talk about single mothers. I just hate that I'm one of the few. It needs to be a national conversation about how to prevent it. I know how to do it. If you ask me, I'll tell you. You know, you ain't got to ask me, I'm going to tell you. It's very simple. You have to stop it systematically. Make child support 50-50. Cut off the financial incentive for teenage girls and for grown women to just have babies by anybody. I guarantee you, again, if y'all don't believe that this wind is real that's blowing through my locks, hey, it'll stop them from just all willy-nilly just having kids out of nowhere by anybody. It'll stop it. Cut off the money, because it was the money that they went for. It was the freebies, the free benefits that the women went for in the late 1960s and throughout the 70s when they agreed to the idea of the man not in the house law. They agreed to the Social Security Act, some part of that, when they talked about the fathers not being home. The moms agreed to that. And so here we are. Now, if you want all these out-of-wedlock births to stop, at least decrease by 75% in 2 weeks, you have to cut off the money. So that means those of you who are like me, who are concerned about the welfare and the safety of children, you have to go to your state lawmakers to make them change these damn laws. If you can't get rid of the child support laws altogether, at least make them 50-50 down the middle, because people are always saying, well, she didn't make the baby by herself. Fine, I agree. Well, she wasn't in there by herself. Okay. You know what? He shouldn't have to pay child support by himself either. If it was two people that came together to create the baby and she decided to have it, you know what? If he's ordered to pay $500 a month, $300 a month, $1,500 a month, $3,000 a month, she should be ordered to pay $500, $1,500, $3,000 a month. She should be ordered to pay the same thing. And if she can't pay it, nobody pays. If she can't pay her end, nobody pays. How about that? The food stamps, welfare checks, what else? EBT, all of that stuff. It should not go to single teenage girls, which it doesn't get to them until they get 18 or something like that, 17 in some states. No, Medicaid, none of that should go to single, never married women who get pregnant, volunteer to get pregnant. None of them, I don't care what age they are. I think it should be reserved for married women. Let's say if they're going through a divorce, they might need that extra support. And all that other stuff, food stamps, welfare checks, that should be going to people who work. See how they'll cut out all of that? Because there'll be no financial incentive to get pregnant. Then we'll start acting like we're in 2023 and not 1823. You got about 20 forms of birth controls for ladies. And you got too many of them decide not to use any. then still want to have unprotected sex, and then want to accuse the guy of being a deadbeat. Get out of here. So the lady set her son up for failure. But she's just in the line of many single mothers who've destroyed their sons. Let's go back to the 80s and the early 90s when crack was king. All of a sudden, y'all barely making it. You got 4 children by 5 different baby daddies. And your son come home with new Jordans. I'm sorry, new Nikes, whatever it was in the 80s. New stuff. All of a sudden, he pulls out $500 in 50s and 100s and 20s. And you don't say nothing about it. And then another thing that sets up children, particularly sons. You tell him he the man of the house. Because you can't find you don't want no decent man to come in. No real man. Or you chose not to get pregnant by a decent man. And then so you put that weight on a little boy. So he goes through his elementary school years, junior high school years. If he makes it to high school year, I gotta take care of my mama. I gotta help my mama. That's not the job of children to help the family. It's not their job. All of that should be taken care of before you lay down, ladies, and pick the guy you want to reproduce with. But nah, because y'all know the state is going to come in and have your back. So you just do it to anybody at any time. You even have medical facilities where, for the low income, the poverty, women in poverty. If you're poor, what the fuck you doing bringing in a bill called a baby? But see, all what I'm saying makes too much sense. So people rather get offended by it and maybe accuse me of something or call me names, but y'all have always known me not to give a shit about what people think when I'm telling the truth. Hey, Mary Max. Ivan, what's good? So this woman, a long line of single mothers, because their poor decision making, because their emotionalism, their inability to control their damn mouth, their inability to control their emotions, their anger. This woman called her son in to serve as a protector. Now, I can be corrected later. Maybe the husband's at home. But why was she out so late? So late, going to a damn drive-in or whatever that little restaurant was. Just do things out of order. Got too many women who are without a man, and they're doing all this stuff that's very dangerous for themselves as well as their children. That's why for those of you who go to church, those of you who believe in the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, they talked about you should be under a covenant. Come on, somebody. You should be under the covering, won't they do it, of a man. But then you've been let the white women tell y'all and the white racists tell y'all, you don't need no man. He oppressing you, girl. You leave the house. Go out to work all day long. Work 15 hours. You got cheering at home. You don't need them. And them same white women go home to a husband every goddamn night. Y'all out here unprotected. Not because there aren't men out there, because you didn't want no good man. You want dudes in the street. Now that poor son, that poor 14-year-old, life has been ruined because his mammy didn't know how to act. When Kevin Samuels talked about femininity, when sisters in the 80s and 90s talked about the feminine goddess, the woman's femininity being her superpower. Hell, I even know that. I know a woman's femininity is her superpower. It is. God didn't make the woman physically strong to fight or can go head to head with a man. God gave women. Hold on 1 second, y'all. What Mary Max said. She didn't care about her son. She was so selfish and narcissistic for doing that to her son. Oh, shucks. Hold on. Both have been charged with first-degree murder. Lord have mercy. And so, those of you who go to church, you already know this. Those of you who believe in the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, y'all should already know what I'm about to say. See, I'm a non-believer. I ain't supposed to know this. But I do live in reality. And I do understand some parts, the natures of women. I know the parts that I react to. And ever since I was a little kid, I guess because I was raised around majority women, there's some things that drew me to women. And my mother, thank God she's still here with me. My mother exemplified that. When you listen to Anita Baker songs, it's very soothing, very feminine, very gentle, warming. It's just that my mother was always like that. She wasn't ratchet. She wasn't rough. Hell, her voice wasn't even like that. And she was a young lady when she had us. And so that's how I react to women who are soft, who are nice, who are feminine. I'm going to say the word again, feminine. And so that lady wasn't very feminine, because let me give y'all some example how femininity saves women, protects them. A woman's femininity is her power. It saves her for a lot of things. You know, only people who are yelling protection are these unfeminine people, these unfeminine women. Because feminine women are always protected. They're always looked after. Even if you don't know them, a man will say, "How you doing, baby? You all right?" And she'll say politely, "Yes, sir," or not "Yes, sir," but "I'm doing, thank you so much." And she'll say, even when she comes across a man who she's not attracted to, but you know, men gonna try to holler, she lets him down in a way where his pride and his ego are all still intact. Because I've seen it done. I've seen women get approached by some monstrous old rough ass dudes. And she'll say, "How you doing, young lady? How you doing, Miss Pretty? Hey, beautiful." And she'll say, "What's your number? Or you seeing anybody?" Or just trying to come on to her. And she said, "Oh, no, thank you. I really appreciate it, but thank you so much. I'm seeing somebody." Or it's a way, it's a tone, it's her delivery. And even when she turns him down, it just kind of brings a smile to his face. And I've seen guys. Hell, I'm a man too. I've been a man a long time. Even when I've been turned down, or, when people love to say rejected. But sometimes it's just a pass, a smooth pass, or "It's okay, I'm okay, I'm good." They all right. And men be thinking like, "Okay, okay. Well, young lady, you have a nice day, all right?" He ain't saying with no attitude. He smiled like, "Wow, that was nice. Yeah, she gave a pass on you, boy, but she was cool." And I don't understand why mothers aren't teaching their daughters this. Because sometimes you don't always have to have a man around to be protected. Let your God-given femininity protect you. The women there, because you've got so far away from your womanhood. Y'all let these white women, y'all let these lesbians, y'all let these studs and butchers talk y'all out of your womanhood. And that's why a lot of you are having so many problems. Get back to being a woman. Or those of you who are too far gone, teach your little girls to be girls. And when they become teenagers, be sweet girls. And there are men who will just come out of nowhere when they see a feminine woman in distress. Because a feminine woman, a sweet woman, regardless of, let me tell y'all this. You know what people love to say? Well, you don't know. Oh, shit. You know how people love to say? You don't know how her day went. You don't know what's going on. A woman who knows her true feminine nature, she can just been turned out alone to save her house. But her nature, that of a feminine woman, doesn't allow her to act like some wild banshee. She still goes out and just gives off that energy. She never loses her character. But y'all think because you had a crappy day, you got to act like a crappy woman. That's not how women act. That's how dudes act. He got 5 from the day. Man, I got 5. Man, fuck all that. He ain't trying to hear none of that. If a feminine woman gets fired, her nature as a woman, y'all come on now, it still continues. But we get all these masculine women who just traded their womanhood, their femininity for the corner office in the Fortune 500 job, the law office. She traded her femininity for 15 hours a day work days and 60 hours a week work weeks. Women ain't supposed to be doing all that. Even if you're a single woman, when you feminine, see, that's the God coming out of women. So you got all these ungodly, savage women who decide to mate with ungodly, savage men. And then you raise these ungodly, savage children. And then you have a simping Negro like a Umar Johnson telling men who didn't want to be a part of that foolishness, it's our fault. No, it ain't what it is. So I'm going to tell you ladies something. When you behave, when you are a goddess, God sends you a godly man. Come on, somebody. It happens all the time. Just be a woman. Y'all around here let these white women fool y'all, talking about some equality. Equality. A woman makes less than a man. A woman makes 77 cents on a dollar. That's a whole lot. A 77 cents on a whole dollar? Bitch, that's a lot. Because another thing, when you're a woman, even if you're a little rough chick, I'm gonna tell y'all something else y'all act like y'all don't know. That's 77 cents. Depends on who you meet. Hell, every other woman, you can make that 77 cents on a dollar. But you still gonna get some more dollars from a man if he likes you. So that 77 cents is just your lunch money. Because everything else is taken care of by a man. Did y'all hear me? So don't get me to start talking about manhood and womanhood, the true nature of it. Because women win when you behave as a lady. When you get into your womanhood, can't nobody fool you, because I have experienced it. When a feminine, knowledgeable, sweet woman, a gentle woman with a gentle spirit is talking, you don't hear me say a word. I'm interested. I want to hear what she has to say. But when a bitch is talking, I'm aggravated. I'm not concentrating. I want to get away from her. And I dare she say one word to me. See, if you're a woman, you know how to pull the best out of a man. See, did y'all know? You said, well, Rico, well, how are these hoes and all these other chicks winning? They're smart enough to understand how to reach a certain part of a man. And by the way, ladies, those of you who believe this foolishness, you can't turn femininity on and off. It's something is either in you or not in you. You understand? It's either in you or not. A lot of you is not. Well, I need a man. Now, here you are, 35 to 50 years old. I just need a man, to put me in a place where I can rest in my femininity. Let me tell y'all something. That's a dumbass statement. Pulling the best out of a man used to be taught. That's right, Mary Max. I need a man so I can rest in my femininity. What you mean? Why is your femininity restless in the first goddamn place? Because you're not feminine at all, helper. Please spare me the foolishness. See, sweet women don't have to worry about that kind of shit. Feminine women, I don't care what's going on, she never loses her womanhood. Let me give y'all an example. Of something that happened in Dallas before COVID. So it had to be about 5 years ago now. And I'm going to make it real quick. And I shared it with some folks. Some people agreed. Some people like, wow, I never thought about it like that. Y'all remember this black chick? It was in Deep Ellum, downtown Dallas. It was like 2:30 in the morning, something like that. She according to the news article, she was dropping a friend off. I don't know if she was going to a bar or a club. But anyway, she drove down a one way. And to the point that she was going head on with this other motorist. It just so happened it was a white guy. And he got out of his car, like, what the fuck you doing? Stupid, blah, 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 and you this, and now that early in the morning, now she by herself. Y'all know this black chick got out the car to confront the angry white guy who was yelling and cursing at her. And she put her phone in his face like, I'm finna dial 911. Blah, blah, blah. He smacked the phone out of her face. And she proceeded to swing on him like, you knocked my phone out of my hand. You got me so fucked. And next thing you know, he reaches in his pocket, grabs a gun in one hand and starts punching her in the face down to the ground with the other hand. Did y'all hear me? And of course, that made the news. And everybody was so upset. He's a coward. He beat a woman. He's a punk. He needs to go to jail. I don't know what happened to that little bastard, but it was something to see. So when they talked about it, I don't know if they had video of it or not, but see, now imagine if she were a feminine woman who was already a feminine woman. You know what a feminine woman would have done? A feminine woman, or dare I say, a white woman or an Asian woman, a woman from India, or the coach, you know what they would have done when this angry, loud talking white man jumped out of his car yelling at them while their windows up? You know what they would have done? Raised their window up. And there is video of that. Thank you, Mary Max. She would have, because I could have sworn I saw it. She would have raised her window up, locked the door, and screamed, "Oh my God, no, no!" And she would have dialed 911 as he's screaming and acting a fool. That's what a feminine woman does. She doesn't get out and try to go head to head with a man. But see, here's another thing. So many African American women have such little respect for black males, and they talk so crazy to black men all the time. She thought she can treat him the way she treats black men, and that white man who don't like nobody say, "Bitch, you got the game wrong." Bloop, bloop, bloop. Just how it was. She learned a hard lesson. Well, men of other races don't take this shit. And so, but had that been a feminine woman, she would have never gotten out the car. At that late at night, she would have locked her windows. She would have called the police and screamed. Now, some of y'all little tough ass sisters, he had me so messed up, shit, I would have grabbed my gun. Okay, great. But the police would have been on their way, and other people probably would have come up and also assisted her. I'm not saying a woman shouldn't protect herself or whatever, but in some cases, just be a woman and you'll be fine. But a lot of our sisters have gotten out of that because of the choices they made. Here, a lot of black males are in trouble because they don't get into their masculinity. A lot of young black males are dead or in jail because they acted in their feminine. They act like their feminine, emotional mothers instead of acting like a masculine man. Well, Rico, there was no man there to teach him. Well, not in the household, but it was a teacher at school. There was a basketball coach, football coach. There's a lot of people there. So we can't continue to say there was no man around. Plenty of men around. I didn't have a father. I grew up in a house with number of grandma and aunties and a drunk uncle and a pimp. But luckily I had male role models and figures in my junior high school and in my neighborhood. But this was the 80s though. But there are men around. So we're going to have to stop saying that there are no men around. You're a liar. Plenty of men around. But anyway, that lady ruined her life, and she took her son down with her, and I don't like that. So when y'all hear me talk about the dangers and the horrificness of single motherhood, I don't want to hear no shit. Because there's plenty of examples, but this is just the most recent one that came out, and it's awful. So anyway, y'all be cool. It's your man, Rico the Opinionist. I think I hear some music over here. I might have to go over here and investigate. So what's going on? Y'all be cool with your man, Rico the Opinionist. Like, share, and subscribe. Mary Max, call me good as soon as this video's over. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.